Right. So let's talk about absolute values, right? When we say absolute value of a number, what that is actually the distance that number is away from zero, right? So it's the distance from zero on a number line. So for example, if I say, okay, absolute value of 4, what I'm really asking you is, here is 0, right? What I'm really asking you is, okay, this number inside the absolute value, 4, how many units away from 0 is it? How far away is it from 0? 4 units, right? So that's why the answer to this is 4. Now, if I say, what's the absolute value of -4? What I'm asking you is, this number, -4, how far away is it from 0? How many units? Also 4. That's why the answer to that is 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So if I were to ask you, for example, what are all the numbers that are 2 units away from 0, right? So if I say absolute value of x equals 2, I'm looking for all the numbers that are 2 units away from 0. What are those numbers? What numbers are 2 and -2, right? It's 2 and -2 that are 2 units away from 0. So that's what absolute value means. It's the distance away from 0. Okay, so let's do some evaluating with absolute value. So here we have this expression. We have A, B, and C. We're going to plug them in. So absolute value, A, plus -5, that'll be -5, in absolute value, plus 2 times 14. I'm sorry, 2 times 7. Huh. All right. Okay, so here in the absolute value, I get -6 plus 14. This comes out of the absolute value as just 6 plus 14 equals 20. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and do the next one. I have 2 times in absolute value. Do you see how I never throw that away, right? I always keep that absolute value. So now I have C, which is 7, minus A, which is -1. So this is 2 times, in absolute value, 8. That's just 2 times 8, 16. Okay? Any questions? So like if you saw here that this is just going to be 2 times 8, you can skip this step and go here. Obviously, I write everything just so you guys can follow, okay? All right. So now, using the definition of absolute value, right? Whenever you have an absolute value equal to something, you're basically saying this thing inside is 3 units away from 0. So what are the numbers that are 3 units away from 0? 3 and -3. So that thing inside is equal to -3, can be at -3, or that thing inside can be at +3. Okay? So if something is 3 units away from 0, it can be at -3 or it can be at +3. Yep.
For C, would you multiply, are you multiplying the -5 to the 2? Like, are you distributing that?
Oh my God, I totally forgot to do C and D. Let's go back and do C and D. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so this is -5. Yeah, -5 times the absolute value of 2 times -5 plus the absolute value of 6 times -1. This is -5 times the absolute value of -10 plus the absolute value of -6. So look, this is -5 times +10 plus +6. So -50 plus 6, -44. And here, these are just regular parentheses. Okay, so take a look at this one. I have 2 times regular parentheses b minus c, negative 5 minus 7, plus 3 times absolute value 7 minus negative 5. So this is 2 times negative 12, that's just a regular parenthesis, plus 3 times, now this is going to be a 12, right? Will it come out as positive or negative 12? Positive 12. So here I have 2 times negative 12, negative 24, plus 3 times 12, 36, which is 12. Okay, questions? Okay, so now coming over here, when you have absolute value equal to a number, right? If it's 3 units away, it can be at negative 3 and positive 3. So whatever inside is either at negative 3 or positive 3. And now you just solve these like as 2 mini problems. So x is 2 and x is 8. So you've got 2 problems. Okay? All right. All right, so take a look at this one. You have absolute value of x plus 1 equals 3. So I'm going to split these up. I'm going to do x plus 1 is equal to negative 3. And then x plus 1 is equal to positive 3. Okay, minus 1, x is minus 4. Minus 1, x is 2. So I have x is negative 4 and x is 2. 2 solutions. Okay, so you see how this is like something is 3 units away from something else, right? Like there is a distance that is 3 units away here. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, you have an x plus 1 here. What's the opposite of plus 1? Minus 1. So let's go ahead and put minus 1 over here. Okay? Now guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go 3 units away to either side. 1, 2, 3. What number is that?
Negative 4.
Oh, I went the other way first. Oh. 2. And then 1, 2, 3, negative 4. What do you notice? These are the answers, right? So what I needed to find here are all the numbers that are 3 units away from negative 1. Here's one way to find it. Here's another way to find it, like to kind of double check. Okay? All right, let's take a look at that one. Negative y plus 4.
But if it's in absolute value, then isn't it just y?
No.
Y can't be negative.
Right, but
Or nothing is negative.
right, so y can be whatever you want. You plug in y, and then once all the numbers are simplified, they together come out. Okay, so negative y plus 4 is equal to positive 6. Okay? So here, negative y is equal to negative 10.
Why are you not putting it in the absolute value?
Once you separate, the absolute value goes away. And so y is equal to positive 10. Is everybody okay with that? Here you subtract 4. Negative y is equal to 2. Y is negative 2. Okay? And I'm good with you just like stopping there.
How did it go from negative 10? Oh, because absolute.
Yep. Okay, here. What are we going to do? 2w is equal to what?
What about the number one?
I'm not going to make you do it every single time. I did it for that one just to show you guys where it comes from.
Are we going to do it for homework?
You don't have to. Yep.
Is it 2w equals 8?
Negative 8 and 8. So w is negative 4. W is 4. Okay. Here, what are we gonna separate as?
1/2
Uh-huh.
x minus 3 equals 1, and 1/2 x minus 3 equals negative.
Right. So I like to do the negative first, and then 1/2 x minus 3 is equal to positive 1. Okay, let's go slow here. Let's do the negative 1 version first. Plus 3 plus 3. Half x equals 2. Now what do I multiply by? Right, which is, I multiply by 2 over 1, 2 over 1. So x is 4. Right? Okay. Now, I'm going to add 3, add 3. So half x is 4. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, 2 over 1, 2 over 1. So x is 4 over 1 times 2 over 1, just 8. So 4 and 8. Okay, now, all of the ones that we just did, we were able to split them up from the start. All of the ones that we just did had something in common, and that is that the absolute value was alone. It was isolated on one side of the equation, right? This one here, do you see how it's different? The absolute value here is not isolated on this side of the equation. So first I need to isolate the absolute value. So let's isolate absolute value first. Okay? So first I'm going to subtract 4. 3x equals minus 3. Okay, do you see how I write down every single step and I don't do too many things in the same step? Yeah? Okay, so now what am I going to divide by? 3 on both sides. Absolute value of x is equal to negative 1. Now let's pause here for a minute. Okay? There is another situation here. Normally, this would be where you would like split it up. But now, what did we say absolute value was? Like conceptually, it's the what from 0? The distance or the number of spaces. So can distance ever be negative? No. So when you isolate your absolute value, whenever you have absolute value equals to a negative number, that can't happen. So immediately, it's no solution, okay? Because absolute value can't equal a negative. Okay. So these, right? I mean, it starts off with good intentions, but I need to isolate the absolute value. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. Absolute value of 3a is negative 3. Okay, you cannot have absolute value equal to a negative number. So that's no solution. Okay, here, subtract 8. Absolute value equal to a negative number. No solution. Okay? If you forgot and you like went and solved, you would get 2 answers, because mathematically you could get 2 answers, but then like when you plug them in, it never works. So it's no solution.
Like when
All
you
right?
plug it into check.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, so we're going to stop there for today.